At Cameron Wrestle says, who in the family has committed the most heinous household offense?
Ooh.
That's
That's a good
salacious.
question. Here, I got one that is a mystery. This is the most heinous household offense, and nobody in our family owned up to it.
Is this the booger wall?
Yes!
What happened with the booger wall?
Yeah, Okay, so, well, we probably were like, it must have been like 10 or 12 years ago. But I noticed was it the bathroom there was?
It was the bathroom. Is one of our upstairs bathrooms, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we have this boys' bathroom that's just us three boys. And one day, out of nowhere, this booger showed up on the wall, and it was a good size, like there was a lot of mucus attached to it and stuff. And no one owned up to it, and we're still to this day, like no one will fess up to it.
The thing is, time went on, and more boogers would appear on the wall
Yeah.
after we called it out. And I swear on my life, I did not put my boogers on that wall.
I promise I will take this to my deathbed. I did not put the booger on the wall.
I'm in a tough position answering third here, but I cannot swear enough I didn't fucking do that. I didn't do it.
I love just the way you guys introduced it though too, where it's like, are we really gonna talk about the poop door?
Going deep right away.
I don't know. The thing is, it's definitely not me, so it's like it had to have been one of you guys, or was Hani even born yet?
Hani was like maybe 2 years old at that time. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, she wouldn't have been in that bathroom, though, is the thing.
Here was like another.
Parents.
Dude, if it was it was dad.
Here was the thing too, because we went like forensic with this shit too. The boogers were so high up on the wall that for me and Thor to smear them, we would have had to stand on the edge of the toilet seat.
Right.
Okay. I didn't do it! I did not do
I don't
it!
know.
Why would I do that?
Not
That's
looking
serial
good.
killer shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the most honorable Judge Burback. Yep, go ahead and rise, yep. Okay.
You may be
please
seated.
be seated. Oh, I'm sorry, those. Okay.
No, that's okay. You're good, bailiff. Now you're back to juror.
I have juror hat now.
I would like to welcome everyone to the trial of the century. The Booger Wall trial is now commenced. We have our three defendants, Thor Johnson, Sven Johnson, and Gus Johnson. For a little background of people that don't know, in the late 2000s, while these three were young children, a mystery started. A wall in their house started gathering boogers, and none of the three who were capable of such a thing have claimed responsibility for what they've done. So we're gathered here today with our jurors and our defendants, and obviously your Honorable Judge Edward Burback, to find the truth. And so I want to start off by giving the floor to, and I also actually want to share one thing before we start the trial. During the podcast episode where we talked about it, I thought it would be funny to say Sven did Booger Wall because it sounded like Bush did 9/11. And that started a meme saying Sven did Booger Wall. That is unfair, so I would ask everyone listening and all the jurors to clear your mind. There is no evidence currently to show that Sven did Booger Wall any more than his two brothers. So we will start this at an even trial. I apologize, Sven. And actually, I will throw the floor to Sven to start with his opening statement.
All right, thank you very much, Eddie. As you said, I feel like I've been the primary suspect in the Booger Wall case. This is unjust, obviously, and I have evidence that basically excludes me from any blame for Booger Wall. It's basically implausible that I did it, and I will be calling in someone to help me testify that. That's all I have to say about it.
Thank you, Sven. I will now throw to his younger brother, Thor Johnson.
Okay, thank you very much, Eddie. I have a short prepared statement here.
Might I add, Thor, that you look very dapper today. That has nothing to do with the trial. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. I would like to note both of my brothers here. As you can see, no tie. If you want to kick it over to Gus,
going to smack
no
you.
tie. And I have not only a tie, but I'm also wearing pants and a belt and a full suit. So, with that being said, here is my opening statement. Gus, Eddie, Sven, viewers, but most importantly, jury. I'm honored to be in your presence and to meet some of you for the very first time, albeit under unfortunate circumstances. I would like to start off by admitting my complete innocence in this matter, but unfortunately, that will not suffice. The proceedings that are about to take place are a regrettable occurrence, but in my mind, there are only two possible suspects. They just so happen to be the other two defendants. When Sven or Gus smeared their boogers on the boys' bathroom wall that fateful day, they likely never dreamed it would go this far, and I would assume they were relieved when it all blew over. However, with Sven's recollection of the incident just 2 podcast episodes ago, a proverbial cat was let out of the bag, and one of the other suspects was haunted by the almost 11-year-old cold case that had yet to be determined. I'm determined to bring swift justice to one or potentially both of these 2 suspects, and make them feel the shame that they have successfully avoided until now. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
That's it.
What a statement. What a powerful statement from Thor
you.
Johnson. That's going to be hard to follow up, but Gus Johnson, I would like to give you the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm very, very happy that I'm the one following it up, as Sven could not have matched this quality. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to point out today that I am not on trial here. My brothers are not on trial here. What is on trial here today is the law, and the law is just, fair, and it is realistic. And today I will prove to you, fine fellows of the jury, that I, beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, was not the person that did Booger Wall. And I would like to prove today that one other member that is on trial has made a damning, on video, on audio error in their recounting of the Booger Wall situation previously, and I very, very much look forward to sharing that lie and that inconsistency with you today. So, what do we leave with? Gus Johnson did not do the Booger Wall. I was not there, I was too old, and I just was not the culprit. And, if I might add a fourth and final point, again, there has been a lie and an inconsistency in a previous testimony. So I thank you, the Honorable, very sexy-looking Judge Burback today for presiding over what will inevitably be
Hold
the
up.
truth. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Sounds objection. Awfully close to bribery.
I would like to make a quick judge objection. You 3 are absolutely on trial. I just want to add that. And I also will not have a kangaroo court. So I would actually like to throw to Gus. You seem to, in your opening statement, mention that there's an inconsistency in the storytelling of Booger Wall. So I would like to give you the floor right now to recollect your version of Booger Wall and what you believe is an inconsistency.
Thank you, Your Honor. I thank you, Mr. Burback. Again, Mr. Burback has been one of the leading figures in propagating the idea that Sven is the one that did Booger Wall. So thank you for your work on the ground in the field.
Objection. How dare you try and start a kangaroo court in my court? I would like you to take that back. Sven, I am neutral to everybody. It was a meme,
Okay.
and we're moving
Thank
on.
you.
And how dare you?
I'll redact it out of respect. Yes, Your Honor. As I pointed out previously, there is a certain member that is on trial that had a very glaring inconsistency in their previous statement. And if I may, I do have a bit of evidence to support this inconsistency, if I may bring it forth.
I would say first, let's hear your version of Booger Wall, and then let's hear it.
Absolutely. My version of Booger Wall. I want to take you all back, okay? And I will bring out evidence to refute this in the future here, but I want to take you all back. The year is 2009. I am 14 years old. Do you remember picking your nose and wiping boogers on the wall when you were 14 years old? No, I don't think so. I think you remember wearing a nice Aeropostale t-shirt, playing with some tech decks on the weekends, maybe starting your budding sexuality and making out with girls behind the bleachers on Saturday nights if you're so lucky. You're 14. You got time for women? Maybe you're starting to learn the driver's license situation by having dad take you out back and learn to drive a stick, you know? This is not an age at which somebody takes a dump, pardon my language, Your Honor, takes a dump and wipes boogers all across the family bathroom wall. Now, back to my inconsistency, if I may. Sven Johnson, in the previous episode, where we discussed the booger wall, mentioned a key piece of evidence. Your Honor, I need to bring forth evidence at this point to back up my stake. Can I say one thing and bring it forth?
Yes, you can.
Thank you, sir. Now, I want to just play a quick audio excerpt of the previous podcast. This is from the recording of the title Now Entering Monkey Town, the Gus and Eddie and Sven and Thor podcast, released on April 13th, 2020 on the Gus and Eddie channel. If you go to the timestamp at 1828, it's where I'm playing this audio file from. You can find it yourself at home here. I'm going to go ahead and just play it into the microphone for our jury now, and if any parts of it cut out, I know it by heart, and I'll repeat one single phrase that Sven said. If you are ready to listen.
Here's the thing, too, because we went, like, forensic with this shit, too. The boogers were so high up on the wall that for me and Thor to smear them, we would have had to stand on the edge of the toilet seat.
Right.
Okay. I didn't do it! Did everybody catch that last bit that Sven said? The boogers were so high up on the wall that I would have had to stand on the toilet seat to maybe reach them. So high, dare I say, that they were completely out of reach. They were undoubtedly not the people that did the booger wall because it was just too high, Your Honor. Is that fair in assuming that from Sven's statement?
I believe that is what Sven made it sound like, yes.
That's correct. Now, if I may direct the attention of the jury to the Discord chat very shortly here. I have obtained a little piece of visual evidence as gathered by my sister, who is a full-time resident in the Johnson household. And she has taken a photo of that said bathroom and the quote-unquote high booger wall placement. This is a photo of my own flesh and blood mother, who is the person that discovered the booger wall, demonstrating where on the wall she found the boogers. Right into the chat. Boom. Your Honor, could you describe what you see?
I believe you put it in maybe the wrong chat, Gus. So
Okay, then I will redact my boom and put it in.
I would put the new boom, but I would redact maybe 10 boom points from that boom.
If you guys can hear me, I'd like to apologize to the courtroom. My Discord application crashed. I'm now back. Video doesn't seem to work, but I can hear, and I hope you can hear me.
Okay.
Sounds good, Jakey. Sorry you had to deal with that.
It's okay.
Now again, I draw your attention to the chat, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. This is the height at which my mom discovered the booger wall. Visual reference just sent.
Wow.
Your Honor, could you describe the general height of the area indicated by my mom?
I would actually prefer that you ask Sven that.
Please.
Thank you for the cross-questioning. Sven, could you describe to me in metric systems just about how high up on the wall that area would be?
I would like to... Are you using
Answer the
this
question.
as
It's a simple
concrete evidence?
question.
Are you using this as concrete evidence, a recollection 11 years after the fact of where my mom thought the boogers were on the wall?
It's a simple question,
We don't
Sven.
know.
Could you tell me how high up the area on the wall is that Mom is indicating, please?
Okay, I will play along to your game just because I know I am exempt. You'll find out later. I'd say the boogers were about 3 to 4 feet off the wall.
I said
4
metrics,
feet.
please.
Metrics? 1 meter.
1 meter. Interesting, because this seems to contradict the previous statement that you're on record as saying that the booger wall was frankly, quote, too high for either Thor and I to have reached the boogers.
I did not say the booger wall was too high. If you play the quote back, I think you'll say some of the boogers were so high.
Interesting. Well, we are looking at photographic evidence as sent over by the primary witness to this crime, so I'd like to think that that's pretty bias-free.
I would like to pause for a moment, and actually, while one of you look it up, I would like to know if Sven asked if some of the boogers were that high. But in the meantime, I believe that our jury, Mr. Gonzalez, has a question.
Yes.
Yes, the jury would like to inquire how tall the mother in question is. We see her on the toilet there, and I can only assume that's a normal-sized toilet, but I'd just like to be sure that she's not freakishly tall, and she's really pointing to somewhere 7 feet off the ground.
I can go ahead and field that one, Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you for your valuable question. And our mother is approximately 5'11" inches, 6 foot in shoes. 6 foot in shoes, so completely normal height there for the toilet, and for above average. Above average.
All right. Okay, I want to thank Mr. Johnson for the answer, and I want to thank Mr. Gonzalez for that question and clearing it up. We now know that Mrs. Johnson is normal mom size.
Yes.
So I would like to say, so Sven, did you find any proof that you said some of the boogers were that high? Gus, would you like to replay part of the clip?
I would love to, Your Honor. Thank you. Here's that timestamp again. Again, this is now 1826 I roll back to.
Here was like another.
If it was dad.
Here was the thing too, because we went like forensic with this shit too. The boogers were so high up on the wall that for me and Thor to smear them, we would have had to stand on the edge of the toilet seat.
Right.
Okay.
That's all,
boogers-
Mr. Johnson.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
caught me on that one.
Yeah.
Caught me on that one.
Okay, so let the record show that Sven Johnson did say that the boogers were too high.
I had a
And
faulty
also
recollection.
Mr. Johnson has shown that the primary witness in the Booger Wall crime has said that it's lower. But I might add, 11 years after the crime. So now I would like to throw to somebody who has not gotten as much talk time as both of the Johnsons right now. Thor, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I do, Mr. Burback, the Honorable Mr. Burback. I would just like to point out that while we were on the topic of false testimony, in Gus's earlier testimony when he was painting us his illustrious picture of his 14-year-old self, he mentioned that he would not be the one to be on the toilet taking a dump. Excuse the profanity again. He would not be the one to be on the dump picking his nose and wiping it on the wall. Now, I would open this up to the jury. They could look back at any of the previous statements, and no one had ever said anything about anyone taking a dump.
Yeah.
While they were picking their nose.
All these specific details.
So, with these specific details, I would be led to believe that Gus may know a little bit more than he leads on. And I would just like to kick that over to Gus and ask what his thoughts are on that, because it had previously been stated that yes, while they were on the bathroom wall, no, it had never been established what the bowel movements of the person in question were at that point in time. Thank you very much.